What's going on, everybody? It's the Hook Cam. I'm back again. Today we are taking a look at if you should worry about the Patriots offense. That seems to be the talking point for every news outlet today, is if you should worry about the Patriots. In this video, I dive into a little bit of the highlight plays that people are going to be talking about: the strip sack, the pressure from Brady, being stopped on fourth down early in the game. All that stuff we're going to cover in this video. With that being said, I hope that you guys enjoy. If you do, could you please drop a like, hit that subscribe button? It would help me greatly, and I appreciate all the support that I'm getting out of you guys. And with that being said, let's do this. Alright, fellas, first play we're taking a look at here is this ISO look on 3rd down and 1 from the Patriots' first drive on Thursday. Now, when you're running ISO, a couple of things that you have to have is a strong double team at the point of attack. Alright, now for New England, it's going to be right here between your center and right guard, comboing 94, and you're trying to push him vertically upfield, right, almost into the lap of 55. Okay, the other thing that you have to have is a great block from your fullback. Both of those things aren't, to me, what kills this play. To me, what kills the play is the backside pressure. But let's take a look at these two really quickly. Okay, off the snap, that's not a bad combo. Okay, 94 does a great job of stemming into one offensive lineman and taking that O-line, right? Now my center really doesn't have a lot to work with. He does a good job working up to the mic, but he doesn't have a ton to work with on this, okay? Jacob Johnson, the fullback, who just recently got placed on IR. I think that's going to be a little bit of a big miss for the Pats. He comes upfield. That's not a bad job on that ISO, right? There's a lane right there that you can see for Sony Michel. I don't think that this is a poorly blocked play. I think that it's not the, obviously it's not the greatest block I've ever seen on an ISO, but it's a play that you can get a first down with, right? But watch this backside pressure here, and again, this is a great job from the Giants defensive coordinator of spiking into the strength of this formation, really. See how he spikes across the face? Now he's got a lane to work with right here. That's a very difficult block for 62 Joe Thuney to make when this dude's on the inside half, right, and working to the mesh point, which is the mesh point's just the handoff, the point of handoff between the quarterback and a running back. See what I'm saying? See how he collapses that backside edge? And Sony Michel's, he does a really good job with using his vision and on plays like this, maybe cutting this thing back, but there's nowhere for him to go. Really good job from the Giants defensive front here, but to me, this is where I think people started to get a little bit concerned about the New England offense. We're going to take a look at this 4th down and 1 here and break down really what happened on this wide zone. And another play that I think people got a little too concerned about, right? And I was watching the Thursday night football game with friends, and everybody was like, "Oh, you worried about the Pats offense?" People were starting to give me that, and it's like, no, I'm not worried. The Giants did a great job with their game plan for this week. They really did. So let's take a look at this 4th down and 1. New England loves to run wide zone when they go 4th down and 1. And now really what they do and why this is so successful is because all they try to do is they seal the edge, they leave the outside guy, and they tell this dude, all right, you're going to have to work all the way across all this mess to make a tackle when it's only a gain of 1 situations. Now, Jabril Peppers did an outstanding job in run defense in this game, all right? And this is one case of it. So what we're trying to get offensively is we're trying to reach 53, and whichever one we're going to combo up to 55, okay? So if we can reach him right away and our tackle gets up there as well, great, then our tight end's going to break off to 55. If our tight end can reach him, right, then our tackle's going to check to make sure there's nothing leaking into his inside gap, and then he's going to work up to 55. But on this play, right, you can see how he's trying to work up there. You can see great job by the edge defender, right, both of them, number 21 and 53, of first off, he just kind of hangs in this gray area, right? He doesn't necessarily seal this edge. He doesn't try to work to the outside. No, he works right directly through these guys, which makes it tough for the tackle and the tight end to decide, okay, one of us is going to work up to 55. So now they're kind of stuck in this gray area. The second thing that 21 does is he does a great job staying tight to this block at the edge and then popping off at the last second to pick up that fullback, and then he gets to the edge on the fullback as well. Really an outstanding job by number 21 on this play. But all around, a really good job from this Giants defense. The one other thing that I think really kills this play, and we talk about missing David Andrews, and I think Ted Karras has done a great job in replacement for him, but you have to make this cut. Okay, and there's something weird about football. I don't know what it is. There's something weird about football where any plays that are coming, C gap out and you have a cut with your center, it's a mandatory cut, right? These are plays, especially in the NFL, where those dudes are going to chase it down, right? And his 94, if Sony Michel has a free go at this thing, I don't think it's a factor. But the fact that it does get a little mucked up and he's got to bend this thing out to the edge, right? I mean, there's a presence there. It makes it more difficult for him to run. So those are the two plays early that I thought not necessarily got this off on the bad foot, but it kind of started raising alarms at people's head as to, whoa, what's going on with this New England Patriots offense? Just trying to clear up a little bit of what was going on offensive line-wise in that situation. All right, guys, 1st and 10 on the next drive. It's going to be a sack from the Giants, okay? And what we're going to get out of the offense is it's going to be slide protection to the right, and then we're going to get 2 away from the back in this slide protection, and it's going to put Marshall Newhouse in quite the pickle. You can see him there trying to communicate as to what's going on. Now, all that's happening here when these two guys are talking is he's telling 12, right, hey, we got 2 coming off the edge here. I can only take 1, right? Our back is the other guy in this protection who's going to come and help. It really ends up being just kind of like a max protection, okay? We got our fullback who takes care of the flat defender. I really shouldn't call it a max protect, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say here. But the back is supposed to come and pick up this guy off the edge. Now, here's where Marshall Newhouse gets in trouble, okay? What's difficult about this is that, yeah, even though there's only 2 guys, there's a number of ways they can go about this pressure. Okay, now if I'm playing tackle here and it's slide protection, I'm stepping down into my gap right away and making sure that there's nothing coming because I know that I have my back to pick up my outside gap, if that makes sense, right? I'm going to step with my right foot down into this gap in a pass set stance, right? Not like I'm down blocking, but I'm stepping into this gap like with a pass set, and then I know my back is coming to pick up anything off that other edge. All right, now this is a little bit where things get in trouble for New England is with this. Honestly, it looks like 72 is a late to the snap, and that's what ends up happening on this. If you can get this seal on here, not really a seal, but if he can step into his gap and he can maintain this pass rush, New England's fine on this play. So, again, I think that there's probably a miscommunication, and 72 looks like he just straight up missed the snap count. All right, guys, the Brady interception. The Giants and the Patriots basically just traded interceptions. So right off the pick, right? Offensive coordinator wise, you're kind of thinking, hey, maybe we take a shot on this play, which is exactly what New England does, right? They go into this run action. It's a one-man route with Edelman trying to break the 2 safeties and get upfield. Okay, it's really the cornerback and the safety. I don't like this ball. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I don't like this ball. It's a bad ball. I understand the play call. I don't like the fact that it's really only a one-man route. I know 83 gets out of the protection here and he works out to the flat, but it's really only a one-man route. And this Giants team, yeah, their defense might not be the best, but still, it's well coached, right? They know exactly what's going on. This is essentially a cover 3 look, and you only have 1 vertical threat, okay? I definitely don't like this ball. I'm not going to sit here and try and tell you that, he was trying to throw it. No, it is a bad ball. I don't necessarily like the play call either. I think they kind of played with fire a little bit with this one. But at the same time, just kind of showing you guys what happened with it. It's a one-man route. All right, guys, a 3rd down and 9 out of New England. I wanted to show you guys what New York was doing coverage-wise because I think that was a big part of the problem on Thursday night and why a lot of people are kind of worried about this New England offense, quote-unquote. But just taking a look at it here, all that we're going to get out of the Giants is really cover 1. But the difference is that we're going to drop this dude in front of number 3, which is Edelman. Okay, and they're just going to bracket Edelman wherever he goes. He's going to have the underneath, he's going to have over the top, and they're just going to try and, take him basically off the field. What we're getting out of New England in this situation is we're getting a levels route. So our number 1 on this side is running over the top. Our number 3 on the bottom is running underneath, and it's almost like a mesh, but it's deeper. It's not really a mesh. It looks like it, but what you're trying to do is put the middle of the field player in a bind. So this dude's going to drop off and run with Edelman. This guy's going to drop off and be a middle of the field player. Okay, and then you're just getting cover 1 on top of that. So. And then, of course, with these two, we're going to get an out route, and we're going to get a go from number 1 down here. Really good job, number 1, from New England's pass protection. All right, I know they're only rushing 3, but that's still a solid job. We'll take a look at that when we go end zone. But the other guy who does a really good job is Ryan Izzo on this, turning his route, knowing that it's kind of scramble drill, knowing Brady's moving to his left and coming back that way. Really good ball from Brady as well. But taking a look at this thing from the protection. Okay, yes, I know that we're only rushing 3, but this is a really good pass set from 72 on this play, and I think he deserves a little bit of shine. There's a long time to be hanging on to somebody when you're working on third down. Long time. Really good job working his pass set. You can see that he's not floating out to that rusher, but he's working back and beating him to a point. That's one of the key things that you're trying to teach as an offensive line guy. I think he does float a little too far out, but because of his alignment, right, he's in this jet alignment, he has to kind of work out to him. That part I understand. Good job from 72 on this one. Another really good job picking up this twist. I mean, I know it's only a 3-man rush, but still, twists like this have a tendency to really put offensive linemen in a bind, especially when you're in 3rd and long like this. But you know what? They do a good job sealing this thing up, giving 12 enough time to go and make a throw. Really good job from the offensive line on that play. All right, fellas, we've got another 3rd down look here, and really just what I want to show you guys with this is how the Giants are mixing up their 3rd down coverages. Okay, really good job from the Giants defensive staff on Thursday night of mixing it up and not keeping it the same thing and keeping it bland. This is essentially a cover 2 look out of the Giants, okay? Really how they're running this is they're dropping these 2 into deep halves, but they're just locking up with number 1 down here. When he's the only receiver down on this side, he's manned up. It doesn't make sense to have him drop into the flat and force your safety to come over the top. Instead, you really kind of cut the field almost into a quarter, because now you're only running cover 2 with this side of the field and these cats, and you're locked up down here. But again, it just kind of showing you guys what the Giants were running and why when 12's holding on to the ball, and I know everybody internally is screaming, why isn't he getting rid of it? Why isn't he getting rid of it? Well, it's because it's covered up. Right, and sometimes you have to give credit where credit's due. The Giants had a great defensive game plan going into this game, as far as when they were pressuring, as far as what coverages they were running. You know, it's just honestly, it's luckily that this Patriots defense is so damn good. It almost doesn't even matter sometimes. I do want to take a look at this protection because it looks like we get a really nice twist pickup from Marshall Newhouse here, who I've been seeing has gotten a lot of flack over the last couple of days, and I don't believe that all of it's necessarily true, right? Really good job making – that's a good twist pickup, man. Now, he gets beat a little bit at the end, but we got to understand here, right? We're kick stepping back. This is almost the same alignment we saw on that last 3rd down call. He kicks out to him. He sees that he's trying to work back inside, closes that gap, engages, comes off on it a little late. But he does a really good job of working that thing upfield and giving 12 enough time to get rid of that ball. So, again, just showing you guys what was going on coverage-wise and, you know, a little bit of why it was taking him a second to get rid of the football. All right, fellas, the wheel route completed to Jakobi Meyers. Patriots going in. They're inside the red zone essentially right now. I want you guys to remember a couple of things. I want you guys to remember the formation, and I want you to remember how these guys run this route. Okay, so we've got a dead side to the top with the tight end. Just look at how the New England receivers run this route, because it's important for the strip sack that we're going to look at later. Okay, Jakobi Meyers is running this wheel underneath Josh Gordon. He's running it to the sideline away from that safety. Not the best ball from Brady, but again, the wind was going on that. I'm not going to sit here and speculate. Jakobi got the job done, so you can't be too upset. All in all, he throws it kind of like a back shoulder. I guess that's giving him a little bit of leeway. But what I do want to point out on this, okay, route-wise, all that we're getting is a streak right in between these 2 safeties from Edelman, and look at the attention that he attracts on this. I mean, he essentially has 3 defenders all around him. Okay, Josh Gordon's running basically like a deep slant. That's essentially a pick route. That's all you're trying to do is get in the way of this dude. And then we got Jakobi running underneath it. But look at the width that he's running it with. Okay, look at the width, right? He's trying to get this thing in between the numbers and the sideline. All right. Now, the other thing that I want to point out on this is the protection. Looking at the protection from the end zone view. Okay, we're not going to see Ryan Izzo stuck on a defensive end. We're pulling for that guy. Okay, Ryan Izzo's taken off. He's going to take this dude out, and then we're going to get our flat threat here with Brandon Bolden in case this thing hits the fan. All right, now we're pulling for that edge defender, and right now it's okay. All right, but just watch this thing in the entirety as we look through the pass protection, right? Ryan Izzo's out. Joe Thuney, right? That run action is so great. I love it when New England does that. They pull the guard. It keeps that backer in. Now the safeties really aren't too concerned. This is what I'm talking about when you're talking about well-coached, right? This is a great job. Look at this run action. Okay, usually when you're doing this run action and it's inside the red zone, right, it's 2nd and long right now. Not typically a running down, but still a down they might catch you off guard with, okay? the run action, you usually can get a couple of these guys coming in. Not a chance. 55's the only one because he's responsible for the back. Besides that, these cats are dropping off. That's a good job. That's being well coached. Excuse me, sorry, went off on a tangent there. Joe Thuney, right, coming around to pick up that edge defender. And again, we're completing this ball inside the 5 almost for a touchdown, right? But just looking at this thing in the entirety again, where Jacoby was running his route, what this protection looked like, because it's important when we look at the strip sack that we're going to take a peek at next play. All right, fellas, 14-7, time running down in the second half. Everybody's feeling good, kicking their feet up, thinking this is going to be another Patriots blowout. And then this happens, okay, this strip sack. Now, remember what I said on the last play. Remember the differences. First thing we're going to look at is the route by Jacoby, okay? Watch the route. He's not underneath Josh Gordon, and look at how close he is to the numbers. That's going to kill this play for a couple of reasons. Number one, you don't really put this safety in a bind anymore. He can just hang out right here, and he's got both of you guys covered. He even gets bumped in on this. Really bad route from 16. Really bad route. I don't want to say it kills the play completely, but it's a big reason why this thing isn't out of 12's hands right now. Okay, he has to get this thing more out, and Josh Gordon has to break this thing inside closer so that we can get underneath it and create that natural rub and get up in between the numbers and the sideline, really stemming this thing out more towards the sideline so you have some space to make that catch. Because all that's happening right now is you're trying to put the safety in a bind, but you're not, because you guys are both so close together. Edelman's running it right. He's bending this thing into the middle of the field, trying to create that distance between you two. But Jacoby Meyer, he just kind of stays on that path. Now, the other thing we're going to look at is the protection. Okay, last time we saw this, Izzo went out on a deeper route to take one of these safeties away. Okay, in this situation, he's staying in to block, right? And he's basically manned up on the edge. One of my biggest pet peeves in the NFL right now is keeping tight ends in to pass protect. Okay, they are not tackles. This is not a professional tackle who's trying to block this thing. It's not like he was converted from a tackle to a tight end. No, he is a tight end. He might have played receiver at wherever he was at before. All right, but this is a recipe for disaster, and it happens on this. I don't like it when teams do this, including my favorite team, the Patriots. I can't stand it. If you are going to do that, tell your guard who's pulling, hey, help out on this, right? Because now he's just looking inside, and he's not really doing anything. You know, I don't like the play design as far as who's getting held in to block, and especially how they're doing it. I mean, dude's head's getting bent back like a Pez dispenser off the snap. Okay, and then he's turning his hips, he's giving up that soft edge, and he's getting run right around. Not a fan of how this thing's drawn up. Really great pass rush by 59, and the Giants defense did a really good job, I believe, overall, but on this particular play as well, right? Really good pass rush, giving him that straight arm, bending it back and ripping underneath it, and then getting to the quarterback. Great job by 59 on that, and then 44 with the heads-up play to scoop and score. But again, don't like the play design from New England, and I think you kind of set yourself up for disaster, and thank God Josh Gordon is okay. Jesus, did you guys see that? Scared the hell out of me. But thank God Josh Gordon's okay, as far as I know. Who knows? But again, didn't like the play design, and like I said, you're setting yourself up for failure when you run stuff like that. Well, it's 2nd down and 8 in the 4th quarter. I'm showing this clip for a number of reasons. Number one is to show you guys how the Giants are running their coverages and really how they're mixing it up. Really, we're going to get a Tampa 2 look out of the Giants on this. Okay, we're going to drop our 2 safeties here. We're going to clear out with our number 2 receiver, and 21 Jabril Peppers is going to be that middle of the field player right there. That's essentially a Tampa 2 look, which you don't always see when you're not inside. I see that coverage a ton inside the red zone. They might be running it more now outside of that. Again, 2nd and 8, so the Giants could be thinking something scheme-wise that New England runs, and this might be the answer to it. But again, the route combination under this thing, right? We're going to get a deep route from Jacoby Myers. He's going to clear this thing out, and then we're going to get a dig from number 80, Gunnar Olszewski, our hero. Hell of a ball from Brady. Good route by Gunnar. And a big-time first down on 2nd and 8 to get that thing moving. But the other thing I need to point out is the protection. All right, I know what it's like to be an offensive lineman and have not really the world bearing down on you. I never played at that high of a level, but to get the criticism. Okay, what we're going to get is a 4-man rush out of the Giants, stemming to the outside with our interior 2, and then a twist from number 44 to the inside of this thing, and just a straight-up edge rush from number 57, I believe, 59. can't remember, but from this edge defender, we're going to get basically just a straight edge rush, okay? Really good job locking this thing up. Again, they're keeping the back end to help out. 44 is really responsible for getting friction on the tight end before he leaves on his route. That's why it takes him a second. You can see him bump in and change his feet. That's the reason why. Get hands, get friction, and then he stems inside. Great job by Ted Karras having the eyes to pick that thing up. Okay, and this is something that you're not going to see on the news networks. You're not going to see this on NFL. No, you're not. You're just going to hear, oh, is the Patch offense in trouble? Well, yeah, they had some bad plays. It was a Thursday night football game on 3 days of preparation. Everybody's going to have a bad game, right? It's tough to win in that circumstance. But really good twist pickup by the Patriots here. Great route combination. And obviously 12 with the pocket presence, just delivering dimes. So really good job from New England offense on this one. Just again, highlighting the protection. So a third down look here, and again, just showing you guys the coverage. That's it, because I really want to show you guys that the Giants did a really good job of mixing things up. Okay, so when you start to look at this thing off the bat, it looks really like a cover one. That's what it looks like, right? We're going to have him manned here, he's for the back. We'll rush these two are manned up, right? But the Giants drop off into a cover two look, okay? But third down and 3, what I do want to show you guys is the route combination that New England runs, because it's cash every time. Okay, so what we're going to get, they motion 16 across the formation and run him on a post. We're going to get an out and up from Izzo. Okay, and then from our back, we're going to leak underneath, and then he's going to sit in between the backer and the corner against this cover 2 look. Now, I think no, he is running. Okay, that's just straight up cover 2. I thought that he followed Jacoby Myers. It's just a straight up cover 2 look, but I just love the route from the back, and this is kind of the special thing about the New England play calling. Okay, flat defender, hook curl defender, right? Both of those guys are occupied, and then you sneak the back underneath. It's 3rd and 3. This is cash every time. Every time. That's why scat backs are so valuable in the NFL. But again, just showing you guys the kind of the coverage and then the beater with it, and how the Giants were doing a really good job of mixing things up. And another thing, guys, is look where these guys drop. Okay, this is Edelman right here. Look how their drop is. Tell me Edelman's not garnering attention in this league. I mean, there's only one reason why they're going this way, and it's because 11's such a damn good route runner. All right, and then underneath it, Brady is looking that way to start, and then comes back to his check down underneath. You know, and you see the Twitter trolls, and you see all this stuff on, you know, social media of, oh, Brady just hits the check down. Brady just hits the check down. He's not that, you know, whatever people want to say. But I look at this and I'm like, what do you expect? What do you want him to force a ball somewhere else, or do you want him to pick up the first down and live to fight again? I don't get it sometimes with these guys who are Twitter trolls, who are calling Brady, you know, again, we get into the greatest of all time conversation. Now I'm rambling, but this is a great example of that. Do you want him to force the ball somewhere else, or do you want him to make the smart football play? And this is why 12 is so good, because he makes a smart football play every damn time. You're not going to outsmart him. So, I don't know. I'm rambling, but yeah, I can't stand people on Twitter who don't know what they're talking about. That'll get me fired up 10 times out of 10. But a big first down conversion from the Pats on this 3rd and 3. All right, so the play after that first down reception by James White. Again, we're getting this bare front from the Giants. This is going to be the only sack of the second half from the Giants. Okay, and what we're going to get is that run action again to the right side of the offensive formation. Joe Thuney's going to pull, and instead of keeping the tight end in the block, he's going to leak out on a route, and our puller is going to pick up this edge defender. Now, this is an outstanding move by 47. Right, this is straight up a dip. He's trying to work to that edge. 62 is trying to keep him upfield and in a nice pocket for Brady, and he just spins right back on the inside of thing and is there for the sack. So again, when we're talking about, you know, is there problems with the Patriots offense? No, the Giants had some great. This is a great pass rush move. That's a great job from 47. Alec Ogletree, who's a good football player. But again, I don't want to, you know, highlight anything. I'm not trying to bring attention to, you know, oh, the Pats O-line's in trouble, because I don't believe that's the case. I think that the Giants had some great plays on Thursday, and to be honest, they deserve more credit. That's really what this thing boils down to. They do deserve more credit. There's an outstanding effort now that I'm just watching this and rewatching it 1,000 times. This is a great effort by 75. Watch this. He's working to get down to this end who's going to be vacated from the pole. Okay, 95 does, I don't think that this is supposed to be a twist, but he just kind of does a natural twist, and watch what 75 does on this to get right in front of it. That's a really good job if 12 does get rid of that thing. But again, there's nothing wrong with the Patriots O-line. They're going to be fine. The protection's fine. the Giants just made plays on Thursday night. That's the bottom line with this thing. All right, guys, I want to show you the last two plays here and how the Patriots really opened up that double move to Edelman later in this drive. Okay, so early in this thing, right, we're given a 3-by-1 look to the Giants. We motion Edelman across the formation to be the number one on the left side. All right, now all we're going to get out of him is really a simple curl route out of the back. We're going to run a flat, take care of the flat defender, and then our tight end is going to run really like a seam on this. Okay, he's just going to try and bend it and clear this thing out. Good job by him on this, working inside and then clearing it out. You can see how that flat defender is going to run with Sony Michel or James White, whoever that is, and then we'll get that curl route. Easy ball to complete for Edelman on that. And again, a little bit of a scary hit there. But when we take a look at this thing, and this is why I have it drawn up like this, when we take a look at this, right? Initially, the formation looks different, but we're going to motion Izzo in again. Now this formation looks almost the exact same. Okay, and watch the route from Edelman. It's going to look exactly like the last one. He's going to stem this thing a little bit to the outside, upfield, chop it down like he's running a curl right there, and then he's going to take off. Great route from Edelman and a good job setting that thing up from New England. And then, of course, 11 laying out for the catch. Really good job from New England on that. You know, 2 plays really that they're not back to back. It was, you know, one in between. It was within 3 plays that they were run. Jesus, can't talk today. But again, the protection on this thing, I do want to take a look at. From my memory, it was pretty solid. Not a whole lot going on there. They held a couple of guys in a max protect look. What they held the back in, and then they held Izzo in just a check release. I love doing that just to help out your offensive line, give them the time. But again, great ball from Brady, good completion, and you can see how all that stuff kind of marries up together. So anyway, guys, with all that being said, that's going to be the end of this one. I hope it's not too long once I get done with all the editing and such. But again, guys, there's a ton of the social media hysteria and the media in general. Is there something to worry about with the Patriots offense? Is their offensive line going to be good enough? Does Tom Brady have enough weapons? I just don't buy into it. I think that the Patriots are fine. I think that their offensive line was on a short week of 3 days of trying to get everything prepared, and that's tough to do for any coaching staff in general, right? It's tough. It's a tough turnaround for 3 days, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's all you have, and Wednesday's a walkthrough. So really you only have Monday, Tuesday to install and get ready for that next team. So the Giants had a great game plan coming into this thing. Patriots obviously come out with the victory, but a really good showing, I think, from the Giants. But again, anyway, guys, that's really all I got for you. I don't really have anything to worry about with the Patriots offense. I know they'll be fine. So with all that being said, fellas, that's going to do it for me today. I'm the Hook Cam. If you enjoyed, please drop a like, hit that subscribe button. It would help me greatly. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.